My name's Catherine Clark and I'm the CEO and State Librarian. The State Library's got a few different roles, and I guess if I think about our tagline, which is treasure stories, inspire possibilities and strengthen communities, looking at those three things. So treasuring stories, we have incredible collections that belong to the people of Western Australia that we need to really carefully preserve and share and in fact collect.
Our collections are incredibly special because they reflect very personal and direct experiences of individuals and families and communities in Western Australia.
And what I do here is look at a lot of the private archival materials and the collections and try to understand them, try to make sure that we're improving the access to them, because these materials are all talking about Western Australia's story.
I think a lot of the stories we share have actually been forgotten. They're hidden away in newspapers of days gone by, and it really is a privilege to be able to draw those out again and to share them.
We have the most amazing collections in the State Library that once digitised to international standards, they get uploaded onto the catalogue, and anyone anywhere in the world can look at our fantastic collection.
If I look at the materials that we have that relate to Aboriginal material, many of them that were collected without the permission of the people themselves. But I'm really proud of the fact that we have an incredible team who run our Storylines archive in particular, and they're using that collection to actually connect families back to community when they were part of stolen generations. So I think, absolutely, I think we've got a critical role to play.
The Storylines project is the way that the State Library digitises the Indigenous heritage collection that we look after here at the State Library. And we place it on the archive that has some secure cultural protocols around it to ensure that Aboriginal people are able to access their collections in their time and on their own, by their own means.
You know how they say that a picture has 1,000 words, and I feel like for my people, for Aboriginal people, some of these pictures don't depict the real feelings and emotions at that moment that that picture was taken. You know, you got the family Aboriginal history unit here. That in itself is amazing in this library. We need to embrace it.
We need to get inside the shoes of the people who were there. It's to do with materials and understanding them in the context as they were seen in the day, back in history, as well as the way we view the materials now.
I get a sense sometimes of that person in the past, speaking across time to me in the present, and that's such a privileged position to be in, to be able to read, for instance, letters and diaries that might have been written a very long time ago. But there's a power and a potency in the original document, the original material.
There's a particular letter that we have here. It's been digitised as well. So this is something you can access. Anyone can access this from home via their internet connection through the library catalogue. It's a cigarette pack that's been flattened out. And it was written by a young man called Wallace Farquhar McLeod. And he was in the front lines at Gallipoli, in the frontline trenches, and wanted to write a letter home to his sister, Thelma. He didn't have any paper, and so what did he have to hand? He had his little pencil, and he had a cigarette pack. So he flattened out the cigarette pack, and he wrote a letter to his sister on this cigarette pack. And that was a letter that made its way all the way back from Gallipoli to Western Australia.
The toilet roll diary is a beautiful example of that, because this was written during the war on a toilet roll, and it is a continuum diary. So we had to photograph it in pieces and then join it all together. So that's just another example of the complexity of the material.
We are well aware that our community is incredibly diverse. 50% of West Australians were not actually born here, or their parents weren't born here, so they've come from all around the world.
The people that came here built this country, the migrants that came here built this country, the people that were massacred for this country. I just feel like it's really important to move forward and be reconciled with our past. Let's start bringing them out of the cobwebs, let's start sharing them with the world, and let's see how we acquired them.
I found that also Australia is amazing. The history, everything is very fresh. You can see I can see the people close to you. Really, everyone linked with overseas. And every family got an amazing story. Like me, it's a story as well.
I think it's the State Library is an incredible, long-standing institution, and I feel very fortunate, and I often talk with the library staff about we are here at this point in time, so we have this incredible legacy that we're building on from what others have done.
It's a really important cultural institution. Staff have and need a lot of corporate knowledge. Client Services delivers services and support for clients when they come into the building, but also we assist clients over the phone and via email, back of house as well.
Part of what we do in the education team is to create trails and guides for children to engage in not just exhibitions to do with art, but exhibitions to do with our heritage collections. And we get a lot of schools that are very keen to be immersed in the history and the art that we have here in the State Library.
I think the social media, especially reaching that younger audience, will allow people to understand what the State Library has in its collection and how easy it is to access it and how much is in there.
I'm responsible for all goods coming in and out the building. We can sometimes get about 12 to 14 pallets coming in one day. Some of the articles can be very valuable and they need to be looked at urgently. My name's Peter Vukovic and I've been at the State Library for about 15 years and I'm the Van Dock supervisor.
My name is Libby Holmeson and I look after social media at the State Library.
I'm Charles Wei, or Union Wei. I'm a volunteer in State Library.
My name's Shana Rind. I'm the Manager for Aboriginal Engagement at the WA State Library.
My name's Irina Sikorska. I'm the Manager of Client Services.
My name's Peter Edwards. I'm a librarian in the Heritage and Engagement team at the State Library.
My name is Denian Tumath. I'm the Indigenous Liaison Officer here at the State Library and the Coordinator of the Storylines Archive.
My name is Cynthia Coombs. I'm the Senior Digitisation Officer at the State Library.
My name is Tricia McKenzie. I'm an Education Officer here at the State Library of Western Australia.
I am Nika McLaughlin. I am the Social Media and Communication Officer at the library.
I'm Kate Gregory, and my role at the State Library is as the Batty Historian.
Always looking to community to guide us, lead us, walk alongside us, and that's the only way that this institution will continue to be as relevant as it has to date.